Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 4. Going to be starting casting now of the upper bracket. We have a game between Shrike and NoFun, and I'm very excited because joining me is going to be Tren. You know him as the Salt Lord. Introduce yourself, my boy.
Hello, I'm the Tren.
It's true. Pulled him out of his engaging game of Risk of Rain to come here waste his life casting DOK instead.
You have no idea.
Well, we better talk about the pick ban phase right now, so... NoFun here. He's German. He knows how to follow procedure. This is a beautiful document. Oh. He picked Conf first, then Shrike picked Coalition. Shrike bans Galzian Territories. NoFun bans Kalash Teeth. I think these are pretty good bans. NoFun picks Firebase. We'll play on that first. Shrike picked the Boneyard, Canyon Outpost. NoFun picks the Shallows, and Shrike picks Titan Passage. I think these are pretty good pick bans here. But I'm worried about Shrike playing against Conf because he's going to get tilted because he thinks they're OP, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if he's playing competitively and he's got to get tilted by faction picks, I mean, it's not going to be
It's game over already, right? Gonna go with Support Cruiser first here. Actually, he's going 8 up into Support Cruiser first. I believe that's pretty risky. Yeah.
Hard to say again with the changes in mod, like what you can get away with on Conf and what you can't is.
I think it's worth noting we have a base runner retired actually, so there's not going to be any blast drones at least, but we do have that PC moving out across the field already. 3 scan skimmers out. If there's tech following pretty soon for NoFun, this could be pretty bad for Shrike, but we'll see how it goes. LAV Fab I see on the queue here. SC just now popping out.
Shrike playing very passively. If he's going to do this kind of eco open, his base runner should really be out the forefront to scout. That probe didn't give him any value.
The probe did get sniped there. He's also going to lose a salvager here. Might lose a sec, but I don't think so. But I'll say probably keeping the base runner back at home is good. Wants to set down that turret, wants to just ward off the enemy here. It's going to be rail fab from NoFun, and that could be real scary.
Yeah, especially to an AAV pick from Shrike. Again, he is really on the back.
Yes. And you know, he had that probe, but he got sniped, right? It's not like, I mean, he's already teching AAV, but you can see with the probe what the tech's going to be at least. You can count the numbers on the RUs to see if he prioritized that. You know, there's certain ways you can keep that probe alive of trying to figure out what your opponent is doing here. It's not going to be available to him.
It doesn't really add up. He could tell there was aggression coming in the form of the skimmers. He's then rushed a probe out to see if it's a full-scale attack. I mean, it's kind of already too late by then.
Actually, this is weird though. NoFun's gonna go into ref mode. You can see he lost a skimmer trying to get that extra salvager, but I mean, this push isn't over. He's got rail fab. He could start teching them, so I'm not exactly sure why he is backing away here. I know you hate passive players.
Because he is going into macro mode, refinery tech is coming down, so yeah, he's pulling back to try and go into full eco, but he should really have another production cruise on the way.
He does get another salvager, that's nice. I noticed Shrike though with pretty good micro man just to dump the CUs from it first. That's always a nice touch. AVs are out, so that should be the end of these sand skimmers and their aggression, but I don't know, when the heavy rails come in, this could be pretty bad.
Yeah, the Sunder and the damage they put out will quite easily put down the AV.
I mean, armor 0 here, right? You could actually kill it with just these 4 sand skimmers if it just gets hit once by that railgun. Doesn't want to engage now, though. Wants to back away. One of them getting tagged there.
Looks like it could lose one, which, yeah, complete waste. Yeah. No reason to push him without the heavy rail being ready.
Slight lapse of the micro kills units, huh?
I'm still disappointed neither of them have gone for the artifact, especially Shrike. He's got a base runner there, he could be pressuring the artifact.
Yeah, I think NoFun retiring his base runner, that's an aggressive move, but then he didn't totally attack. But Shrike here definitely, I mean, he's still got it, you know? And look at where it's headed now, off to his like opponent's extraction zone. I don't really understand that move.
But I guess he's probably looking to expand his turrets, which seems like a pretty poor move. He should really be focused on finishing getting his E.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because heavy rails, they don't have good accuracy against turrets, but they've got the range. Eventually you'll kill them with that, so... Speaking of which, AV getting chipped down a little bit over here on the right flank. Trying to hide behind the hill, but he's slightly inept.
Again, I don't like it. He's just spending a lot of time being very passive. He really needs to be either shifting around the flanks or pulling back somewhere to defend.
Yeah. Fighter and gunship gonna be the tech choice now from Shrike. NoFun finishing his second PC. He could be on to 3 base really any moment now. He's keeping that idle for just a second, but I'm sure he'll be moving there soon.
He is pretty far out of position on any sign of mobility system. That's a no. Seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. This is, you know, a slight buff, obviously, for those who don't know, that Conf have throughout pretty much all stages of the game. They can power up the mobility support. Their carrier is slower, it doesn't have a speed system, but if you power up mobility support, any units that are around the carrier or around production cruisers move faster. And that includes these long-distance mining salvagers, so it's obviously where you'd like your power to be if it doesn't have somewhere else to be.
Shrike making the push on this flank and just losing the AV, and I suspect his base runner is about to follow.
He's getting shot through that one hill on this map that doesn't actually exist. Feels bad, man.
You'd think there's a hill, but it's actually completely open there if you look.
Right, well there's actually a little hill behind it that, curiously enough, it does give you high ground, but it doesn't block line of sight. I don't know how that's possible. By the way, a little touch here that I think is pretty cool. NoFun is using EMP rounds on his heavy railguns. This is a tech that we never see.
Looks like he's using it to counter the turrets.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about it, it's going to work against these AAVs as well. They're trying to sit behind hills all the time, so this is going to completely shut down Shrike's tactic, just kind of camping behind the hills.
Totally. You were talking to me on stream about how this is an underused ability because its damage is huge. It works against LAVs. We kind of saw that just then against that AAV. It popped smoke, you can't hit it, but he can fire EMP through it, and it just killed the AAV there, confirmed the kill. Totally destroyed those turrets as well.
Yeah, a nice indirect fire ability on something that really shouldn't have indirect fire. That air coming out now, but there's a really big EO difference right now, and that's quite worrying.
I agree, I agree. Missile ship fab is on the way. Now this air transition is going to be good, mind you. It's going to do some serious damage. But the economy is still definitely opening up here for NoFun. There's actually a gunship on the way too for Shrike, which is kind of fun to see. But his second support cruiser just now finishing, and he doesn't have any salvagers on the queue either, so NoFun's been mining on 3 for some time now.
Yeah, once the AA counters come out, I am seriously worried for how Shrike's going to transition into his late.
Especially because air is deadly, but it's no counter to rails when they've got anti-air on them, right? And we still just have AAVs. Speaking of which, an AAV going to get up onto the main, trades pretty efficiently against these sand skimmers, but it will go down eventually. In fact, I think EMP round could even be used on it here, which would be kind of annoying.
Yeah, good.
That would probably confirm the kill. Gunship going to come out here now, reveals itself. Oh yeah, look, it is an EMP.
And there it is.
Excellent shot there. Gunship going to come smiting down these rails now. I'm looking at the units lost tab, and this is actually starting to look pretty nasty for NoFun, but he is still ahead on... Eco here. You know, Shrike's third base is still just now getting set up, so he should have the momentum.
A couple of things to consider. Yeah, there's the eco advantage that NoFun has. There's also the fact that it's possible that Shrike's going to lose quite a bit of this air.
In fact, yeah, he takes one loss there already.
Yeah, those kinds of losses are going to build up really quickly, and it's going to start shifting the numbers in.
That was a good rail pick he managed there, though. He should come in there, even though the anti-air's around, still pick off one more before he has to dock these strike fighters. And the gunship's going to be good. I mean, you can see these sand skimmers pushing out onto the main. He's got a turret here, but that's not going to be enough against this many. But he does have a gunship, so it's not like the anti-air presence, you know, makes these air assets completely useless, but definitely makes it a lot harder to use them efficiently. Oh, and he's stacking a lot of money.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough on the eco, and he's only just opened up that last wreck. But there's such a huge difference in the map control. NoFun's got a much better spread across the map, he's got much better awareness, whereas Shrike's just kind of sending out like 2 AVs here, you know, air there, it's sporadic, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and it gets blunted immediately. You saw these 2 AVs popped in like, hey, are there any rails here? Like, yeah, of course there are rails here, that's all I've been building this whole game. Like, okay, we'll leave, and then they just back away, you know? Doesn't really get too much done, and the anti-air is creeping closer and closer to the base, which is where we're going to start getting really worried.
it's not like Shrike doesn't have the resources for better. I'm not seeing any tech either. He's picked up railguns, but it's not picked up anything beyond that.
Kind of a wasted missile ship barrage there, but it just occurred to me that the combination of heavy rails, EMP, and missile ship barrages is pretty nasty, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if he can get the hit, he can...
Oh, gunship, where are you? You need to be on the main. Gunship, why are you here? Oh no. Okay, here comes the gunship. I mean, doesn't that look like the obvious place it needs to be, is defending the main base? But he's gonna get there eventually, but it takes a lot of damage on the support cruiser that I feel like he really didn't need to. Ugh. Not what you want to see.
He's still got those resources coming in, so he can, you know, he's not... Until the support cruiser actually dies, he's still getting full value from it, so...
Indeed.
It's just a matter of whether NoFun's going to allow that to remain the case, which I doubt.
I don't think so, yeah, I mean, he's already here. Rail's unfortunately targeting the salvagers for just a second there. Oh,
I would like to see EMP, but... Yeah, looks like the rails are going to counter this, but...
Yeah, and actually the support cruiser will survive, rather narrowly, but... Hey, you know what I always say, like 1% HP units do 100% damage. It's kind of the same as support cruisers, eh? So...
Yeah.
So that's good. This is going to be a lot of anti-air kill so long as Shrike hunts it down, which is definitely the right move here. Obviously, as well, if there's no anti-air, you know, you're not vulnerable to strike craft. I mean, the gunship's just going to murder them. I don't know, that's pretty good. That's actually a pretty good swing into his favor, I would say. Doesn't want to push this high ground,
NoFun's investing into his skimmer tech. Just gone up to armor 2. He's also got damage 1. So might be looking to stack skimmers to counter the...
Yeah, and on that note, he really does not want to push onto this high ground, Shrike, because yeah, there it is. There's the EMP.
Go down. No
There's
escape.
the sand skimmers, and he's got anti-air here too. So the gunship can't just come in. Does he actually? He's got a little bit, but the gunship can't just be here freely. Oh, look at NoFun's main. Looks like, you know, I joked these AVs are just kind of popping in like, hey, are there rails here? Like, yeah, of course there are, but actually there's not right now.
There is not, and NoFun seems to have his power in the wrong place. He's got it in the missile system, not in the close combat system. He's allowing those AVs.
This gunship needs to be careful. He's getting really... Oh, I think he's dead. Uh-oh. Goodbye, sir.
Blaze of glory.
He did his best, but these AVs are still alive, and they've killed every single salvager off this main base. This is just insane.
I think NoFun's only just spotted the...
Oh! Open the units lost tab for a second. Oh no.
But again, look at it, it's stacked into RUs because most of Shrike's losses are air units, whereas a lot more of NoFun's have been salvages.
Yeah, but he's trailing by like double on both of them. This is not good. He is gonna kill the support cruiser. Alright, good job, but this doesn't bode well. These AVs are just now getting cleaned up off the main base. They've just been sitting there for who knows how long. Oh dear.
Oh, come on, NoFun. Use that high ground.
Yeah, this is the fight you should stay
in. Lost the fight with the skimmers, pulled back, and then rather than trying to take advantage of having the high ground, he's just pulling off entirely. That is completely the wrong move right now.
Yeah. I mean, besides, these rails are all injured too. As if he needs it. I mean, with high ground, he's barely even got fewer numbers. Like, he could definitely take this fight right now. Doesn't want to move off of it, though. Don't move off of it.
Do it.
Come on,
Skimmers
NoFun.
forward first, buy that first volley, then move in with the heavy rounds. He's still going to win this fight handily. He's got such a massive advantage for them. And if you can lock down the main, it'll completely negate the resource. Oh, although the number's completely shifting now.
Yeah, if you check the units lost tab now, suddenly they're even. Shrike even beginning to trail a little bit. These sand skimmers completely unimpeded, just charging into the base. You know, I think he needs AVs here. I think he needs AVs and he needs rails, but really he just needs these rails to not exist from his opponent.
To be fair, what he really needed was more LAVs. If he could just pressure... After that massive win against the skimmers, if he followed that up with LAVs, he could have just pushed this whole thing off as long as he'd avoid the missile ship.
And with the upgrades too, the stream chat's just yelling at me about this constantly. The spending from Shrike has been pretty bad so far. He's been stacking quite a bit. And so, you know, he's got armor 1, damage 1. I think he could have armor 2, damage 2 at this stage of the game, really.
Easily.
he had the money for it. He's got a lot of LEDs though. This is a transition that can catch a lot of players off guard. So we'll see what NoFun can manage against it. With only 6
Ooh,
skimmers
looks like
here.
Weird misclick from NoFun. All of his economy was moving forwards.
Uh-oh. Yeah. That'll happen when you have the PCs, like, tagged on group 1, right? That's, like, the most terrible. Uh-oh! Oh! EMP!
Oh, and there it is. That is what I mean about EMP being a counter to LAV.
Oof.
That is disgusting.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot about it, man. Jeez. You know, when you were talking to me about it on stream, I was like, yeah, but can you even really, like, hit the EMP? It seems like it'd be hard to do, but there you go.
You would be surprised, and
I mean, that's...
Shrike knows he's done.
Yeah, he's not having any more of this, and game 1 goes to NoFun. Exciting stuff. Let's load game 2 up real quick.
I just want to say though, like, Shrike was so passive in all that. I mean, he did the AAVs in the flanks, but he didn't do anything else to really put pressure on NoFun.
I mean, just having your AAVs, you know, moving out across the map is like... Yeah, it's being proactive, I guess, to some degree, but I mean, anyone can do that, you know? Having the AAVs, and I mean, anyone can do that, but like, even I don't do that sometimes, so not to say that means nothing. But you need to support them with something, you know? You need to find openings in your opponent. It's a lot more cerebral than just that, so... I definitely
It's got to be more decisive than that. I mean... Yeah, he got that damage in on the eco, but he was losing his eco in the same way on the other side.
Indeed,
you know, he's got to be winning that fight in the middle. He's got to have map control, and he just never did. He didn't take advantage of having a base runner. He didn't build a cohesive force before his opponent did.
Definitely. And frankly, I really think NoFun probably could have just won right from the beginning if he kept on that push too, so... Kind of feels like, in a lot of senses, he was dictating this whole game, except for, you know, the air reveal, but that's transient. It doesn't last forever. Well, let's go ahead and load up game 2 then. It's going to be Shrike's map pick this time, and he picks the Boneyard, and I think this is one of his favorite maps, so no surprise there. Tell me when you've got that one loaded at 29:55, and we'll go ahead and begin it.
Loading in now, and this is indeed a very good map.
Indeed. I've got to say, actually, for a while I didn't like this one very much, but I've repented of my foolish ways. I enjoy it quite a bit now.
The problem this map has is that these buildings, which are relatively low to the ground, offer complete line of sight blocking, which doesn't make sense, but it is an important feature of.
Well, even across, like, the corners of them, where, like, obviously, you know, there's nothing there, they still provide line of sight blocking. It's kind of weird.
Anyway, I am loaded up and in position.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So, spawning down here in the south, it will be Shrike, and up in the north, NoFun. Again, Conef. No paint job, because they're just rusty boys. Just got a couple of stripes on him. Shrikes on him.
Paint is very expensive in a desert.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, how do the Galzian make their paint, actually? That's a good question, isn't it?
What is it? Black and red? So what, just ground down some rocks, get a bit of blood, bam, they're done?
Sure, yeah, the blood of all their Conef victims.
I'm sure they got plenty of gals, coalition out there as well. Maybe even their own, if they consider them heritage.
Indeed. Looks like it's going to be LAV first this time from Shrike. I really hope he doesn't build a support cruiser after this, because I told him last game that I casted him that if he did that I would find him and hurt him.
Well, yeah, hopefully he gets LAVs out early, he has a bit of map presence, and he uses that to either get an artifact or to maybe get a forward turret down and pressure NoFun.
In fact, I'll tell you what, he definitely ought to be doing that, because you can see his opponent here with a 2PC build. This has kind of fallen out of favor in patch, but we're going to see it. It's NoFun. Sanskrit Feb finishing in about 10 seconds, and I guess we'll see his tech choice then, but this is definitely going to be, early aggression. This is definitely going to be, you know, I'm going to kill you or you're going to kill me, that's it.
No, it is looking like AV Fab is being rushed by Shrike. That should still work out against the Sanskrit.
Yes, and it'll work against assault ships too. But it won't work against railguns, so I'll have to see what the tech choice from NoFun is here. He's actually not got all... Oh, he's getting Fleet Cap 45? What the heck?
Yeah, he's investing in the skimmers. He wants to get a lot of damage done with just mass skimmers, and that is not going to work out well against a...
Yeah, Skimmer Rush has always been one of the more coin flippy openings, I guess you could say. This is a term A-game used all the time, so it's become very familiar to me. You know, if your opponent's not preparing for it, and there's a turret getting set down in mid, by the way, you should note. If your opponent is not preparing for it, you can do some serious damage, but if they go for AVs, which, you know, maybe 1 in 3 games he'll go for AVs, like, you just lose, you know, so this is risky.
I really cannot agree with Shrike's placement on the turret. Yeah, it's nice he's got the pressure there, but there's an easy way to get in close to the turret. It's got limited lines of sight, and he didn't scout to see whether this turret was going to actually see much action in the first place. Just not a good placement. Meanwhile, he's got a massive skimmer blob forming on his flank. He is in trouble.
Well, you know, just a couple AVs, he should be fine, I think.
Yeah, if he's heading towards mid, he doesn't even know that skimmer blob's there.
That's true. Probe gonna find it just now. I think the probe wants to be seeing in this kind of opener, like, where's the PC, and if you don't see it, you know, how's the saying go? Yeah, if you can't find him, look behind you, right? Artifact is gonna be extracted. Now this is crucial. You should power up the carrier immediately, I'd say. But NoFun gonna start sweating. Yeah, NoFun gonna start sweating as he sees these AAVs, but Railfab's on the way. I think, back to the turret, back in the Garmulator days, he would do this all the time, but he'd put it maybe, like, you know that hill right next to the extraction zone? I think that's probably a better place for it.
More reach.
Yeah. No, one of the AVs here is almost gonna die, actually, just to these skimmers. Although with smoke, he can delay this guy's, like, death by so long. He should do that right now.
Really, what I would have liked to have seen from NoFun would be some of those armor upgrades to mitigate the damage from the AVs, but instead he's traded off that entire skimmer blob for... He's still building skimmers. They are not gonna save you.
Here we go. Finally some assault rails, but he's close, dude. He's close. Yeah, like, not only did he trade all those skimmers just for one AV, but actually with smoke, Shrike could have kept that AV alive and you would have gotten nothing, so... Check the units lost tab. Tells the whole story. But the assault rails are out.
One of the most important things anyone needs to keep in mind if they've got a skimmer blob is that if that skimmer blob is at threat of being wiped out or taking heavy losses, to split the blob and try and save half of it. It makes such a huge difference, just saving a couple.
Sure, yeah. Just like the African savannah, right? You know, you do some flocking, make sure that the tigers don't kill all of you, just half of you.
Mm-hmm.
Same principle. Rail tech is done now for Shrike. I wonder though, shouldn't he be just expanding onto a second base? I feel like that's probably the move here.
Yeah, Shrike should really be going into full eco so he can get a proper mid-game army up, but I think he's getting a bit overconfident with the AAV. So unless NoFun wanders into that turret with the assault rails...
He's about to wander in these AAVs, he needs to be careful, they're on the assault railguns here. Uh-oh! Oh, Shrike, not really taking advantage though. Could have probably just driven right on top of them and killed them there.
I think he's gonna get it anyway.
He backed away again.
No, he's too afraid. He's running away when he should have been picking off that isolated assault.
No fear, dude. Just rush B. Don't stop. Sometimes it works. I mean, he definitely, I think, would have killed those two there. This is gonna delay, you know, NoFun's expansion now because he's got to rebuild the assault railguns to be safe.
What's he sending the weakened one off ahead for? There we go. I think he's real.
Sensors manager, probably, to be honest. Doesn't see the health bars because he's in space. Probe is gonna see the assault rails. He knows about them now. The savior here has a death wish, though, I think. Oh, he lives. Okay. But he's sending 2 up into the main base, and this could do some serious damage. We saw this last game. NoFun sees it now, but...
But I think it's too late. They're going to get damage. Those missiles are not going to be...
Yeah, good attempt, but he needs to switch into close combat. He does now.
There he goes, straight over, so...
Alright, this is good. That's what he was missing last game, obviously. And yeah, salvagers are going to start going down here. I mean, it's worth noting that NoFun has got, you know, the soft counter unit, but he's still having difficulty here. Just holding his flanks.
He's not got the coverage. He's not got that sort of web set up so he can see this stuff ahead of time and then deal with it. He is pushed into a corner.
Definitely. 4 salvagers go down. The AVs will fall eventually. Again, you can use smoke to delay this a bit longer, but I think that was definitely worth it. And now we've got some interesting potential over here on the third base. The base burner is coming in tow. Obviously, you can set down some turrets that makes things pretty difficult for these assault rails, which are way too close. Taking a bunch of damage there. Turret going down.
Again, I'm kind of hoping that NoFun invests in a bit more armor to mitigate more of the damage coming off these AAVs. Gonna lose an assault rail to it.
Actually, the turret goes down kind of instantly, so that's not so bad.
Yeah.
But this
again,
is delaying his
he's
third
frying away
base a
those
long
skimmers now.
time.
He needs to pull those back. He
Exactly.
needs to make sure he's got the rail support.
And you know, with this terrain, NoFun can kind of chill out here for a while. This is always the weakness of rails, is trying to push over hills.
Chill out for a while, maybe, but he is getting very heavily distracted by this couple of eight when there is another pair coming in for his main again, which he can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
Again, all those skimmers getting killed for nothing. They're not really adding anything being in front of the assault. And yeah, he is thoroughly distracted trying to chase down that base runner. He is not going to scout out these AAVs until it's too late, and we're probably going to see another 4 salvages go down.
Indeed. There's just nothing here, you know? I mean, this is the classic kind of problem with no scouting, but just, you know, one skimmer out there on the flank, and you'll be able to see this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
This turret finally coming into play here, but it looks like it's going to get smitten.
He needs to keep moving those salvages. Like, there's no reason for him to sit there and take all this extra. Keep more of these alive.
I agree.
Oh wow.
I think Shrike definitely needs to work a little bit on his smoke micro here. You can keep these guys much more survivable if you worry about that, but
I'm more concerned about Shrike's macro, because all he's done is throw out these 2 AAVs. It just feels like the only reason it's working is because it's simple enough. There's no nuance to it. It is just a hammer.
I agree, and on the macro side too, you know, I always talk about how if you're ahead, you need to attack, right? Because Shrike NoFun has been on 2 bases this whole time while he's been doing the defense, and you know, you think this is going really well because look how long it delays the 3rd base from NoFun, but like Shrike's 3rd base isn't up either, so they're actually even right now. Shrike has more tech.
He's getting assault cruiser fab, and he's got rail tech. Like, if he just mixed in a few railguns with those AAVs, he'd be in a position to completely crush what NoFun has.
Yeah, this attack can continue, and who knows when it'll stop, but... oh, good missile ship barrage there. Assault rails jump up on top. Yeah, he's gonna lose one of these AVs at least. Kind of trying to play Ring Around the Rosie here. Again, the distraction amazingly is working, and I think he's getting back into the game again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a repeat again. Like, it's kind of... fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, like, what the fuck you do?
You know, there's this saying in Texas, maybe it's in Tennessee, but fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, you can't fool me twice. This quote, of course, by George W. Bush.
It's got to be at least 3 times? Like, what? Now, I'm wondering, because he's going for a production cruiser, it's a missile ship coming out. That is...
Uh-oh.
That is
not what you need.
That is really awful.
Yeah, no carrier to save you this time.
Although there are 2 assault rails nearby, so...
But smoke, again, smoke. He's got to be smoking more often here. I mean, smoke is such a good ability that AAVs, which can't damage anything in the late game of a vanilla game, are still relevant because of the smoke machine that they can pull off, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to be using this more often, you know?
What I really want is to see NoFun actually respond to this by actually scouting the same direction where this has come from 3 times in a row. And I realize he's going for main right now, and he will get that because there's just an AAV there, which those assault rails.
AAV smoke, look at that.
Yeah, but they should just focus down the AAV.
NoFun has got dart maneuver, what the heck? I haven't seen them use that yet, but I don't know how long he's had it. He's got rail armor 2 as well. Hold up, how is this support cruiser gonna get out of here? What the heck? Oh no! Oh no! No
plays for a single AAV. That said, if those two logistics modules go down, it's still gonna be.
Indeed, yeah, and you get mining time too. He hasn't lost anything for this attack.
Oh wow! Shrike has managed to evolve from AAVs to assault cruisers.
Kind of the cruiser equivalent of AAVs, right?
Yeah.
I should clarify, A-game. I don't mean he should have chased here. I mean just he didn't Like, he waited while that smoke just dissipated, and he could have just come in and done damage to the support cruiser while he was waiting, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, at this point, I want to see Shrike just go straight for the Khan carrier, drop tactical missile barrages on it, and try and pull the GG here, because that is probably the best play right now.
I think he could do it. And not to mention, if he gets on top of the Conif carrier, not only are all these salvagers going to die, but he could honestly maybe even just kill this carrier outright. Well, Power 2 is on the way, you know, this thing starts getting a little prickly. Obviously,
yeah,
Conif carrier and vanilla...
he's delaying. He's too busy chasing some assault rails, which he doesn't need to catch. Heavy rails coming out now, but he's able to get on top of that. But he puts the weakened one first and gets punched.
Yeah. I mean, I think all of these rails should have been dead. I'm not totally sure how this happened. Missile ship barrage is huge. Did you see that? Oh.
This is the thing. Shrike's micro here is appalling. You know, he's playing like he's an AI.
I love the salts. Tech missile barrage is ready. Oh, oh no, he missed.
And does it miss? Is it a whiff? He gets half of an assault rail.
Uh-oh. He's got rails in the hood though. Smoke again could be used. Smoke it. Ah, smoke it. It didn't die amazingly. It should have though. Just keep it alive for a second. Oh dear.
Right, so I'd like to see this rail move off to the side and just finish picking off these rails, which are just... So here's an interesting thing. Those rails are focused on trying to shoot at that assault cruiser, which then gets taken out by a Conif carrier. Very nice.
Nicely done. Nicely done. But yeah, I mean, they could have actually been shooting back at this rail that whole time, I think.
Yep, easily. They could have killed that railgun before it did any real...
Shrike finally going to repel these assault rails on his base. I mean, he's got rails. I don't know how he didn't already, but he's got his carrier here, and I think finally he will push this back. But
I know
it's just going to move somewhere else.
You may notice there's a set of wrecks all clustered up against the rock. That's because they all came around together and ate a missile.
Yeah, with the 3 railguns, they just bunched up and boom, just sniped them. It was terrible. And I think NoFun is gonna win this fight. Yeah, he's winning this fight up by his base too.
Again, it's the same as the first game. It starts off well for Shrike, where he's got a play that just seems to work for him. Air in the first game, AVs in the second game. But it just doesn't go anywhere. It just doesn't develop into anything meaningful. And
Indeed.
Now NoFun is dictating all the plays and is just gonna get more and more out.
You know, I gotta say, like, Shrike's one of these players who I always see so much potential in. NoFun is too, so it's fun to see him getting a little better here as well. There's definitely a lot of rust going on here, but like, man, I want to see this guy get good, you know what I mean?
I want to see NoFun get some armor on these sand skimmers if he's going to build that many.
And charge them after an AV too. Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. He is starting to get the techs, getting rating. But this just feels like Shrike, if he was back in his form of like kind of late 2017, I'm sure he would have won this game by now, or late 2019. I'm sure he would have won this game by now.
It's possible, but I mean, it's not like the plays are bad. It's just they're not moving into anything meaningful. You know,
yeah.
It is just here's AAVs and then here's rails, and then there's not the combined arms you should be seeing from Coalition.
Definitely. Combined arms, whoops, sorry, I saw that on my stream chat. Dart maneuver coming in here to try and pick off the support cruiser. Doesn't need it, just kind of styling on his opponent, but he should actually save it, because with dart maneuver, if you can get up on top of enemy railguns, like, you can just mess them up. It's a very fun ability. We never saw it in vanilla, but it's made a re-emergence in patch, which is a lot of fun.
Hoping to see NoFun use this army properly. He's got a good surround here.
Yeah.
Get those rails on high ground, sweep in with the skimmers, and clean up those rails.
Just get those assault rails in there too. Again, dart maneuver should have been saved for this purpose, I think, but he could probably just run in there and smash them. I'm always, you know...
He's backing off again. He's getting that initial barrage coming at him. He's panicking.
Shrike, don't get closer to them. Oh gosh. Okay, dart maneuver is ready.
What is stopping NoFun from just winning this? Here
we go.
I think that's going to be it.
Yeah.
It's a shame there aren't the heavy rails to back this up, but I think the assault rails is just going to be enough to win this.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, smoke allowing for target priority to be abused. Could be cleaning out those AVs.
What are these assault rails targeting? Okay, there we go. Now they're back on the rails.
Trying to hit the rails in the smoke, and they're just blind to everything else.
They were like targeting this AV like all the way across the ridge. Like it was insane. And yeah, this looks like a complete fold from the Coalition player.
Yep.
And it looks like NoFun should have the game by now. Yep, and there you go. That's going to be the GG. 2-0 in this series now. It is a best of 5, of course. We get to watch a bit more of this fun series, but this game is over. Let's load the third one in now.
Man, it seems so ridiculous for Shrike to have gotten AV tech, have benefited so much from that AV tech. Teched rails, not built any rails, go straight into assault cruisers, and then realizing his mistake, just building those rail guns and not building another assault cruiser for the rest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like he's getting ahead, and then he's not using the fact that he's ahead. You know, he's got to just like build his eco up while he's on the attack, or maybe mix in more units that can continue the attack or something. But he's not taking advantage of these moments that he has the advantage. You know. Well, someone's saying on stream the number of games I have in my thing is telling it. Not so, Roby. You get out of here. This is one with me in A game. Anyway, game 3 going to be now on Canyon Outpost, and I gotta say this is probably a really good choice from Shrike. It kind of limits aggressive options, I think, in some ways. At least it limits rails, and you can tell that Shrike is using AVs a lot here. I'm talking about limiting rails in the really early game attacking phase, just because there's a lot of line of sight blockers.
The thing is, it's a more macro map because you've got the double starts, and I don't think that's going to play in Shrike's favor.
So actually, this is a layout that was created by A Game X, so it's only got the single start, like it should be in a 1v1 map.
1v1 version of Canyon Oak.
Which is much better to play on, I gotta say. Back in the days when we used to use the 2v2 maps, they were kind of memeable, but this is much more fun. Anyway, tell me when you're in position and we will begin.
I am loaded and at 29:50.
Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, go. A-Game, by the way, saying this map is still bad. he's not totally happy with this, but I think it's definitely good enough to be in tournament. As he literally just said, it probably should be removed from future tournaments. Well, okay then. Base for retirement coming out from NoFun here. I think it's going to be once again a 1PC attack. This is definitely his style. He kind of has done this from the beginning, and I like it because it's a style that I definitely find entertaining to watch. So we'll see what his plan is here.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, probably another rush into railgun.
No, it's going to be ref mode first. What the heck? Wow. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense, as we have, NoFun doesn't have the Galzine base runner with the scanner. Maybe he can just go ref mode and retire his BR, but that definitely feels risky, though. It smells dangerous to me. Indeed, we have LAV fab.
That base runner is coming straight forward to pull another turret rush.
Yeah.
Is it going to be LAVs or AAVs from Shrike, though? I suspect AAV.
Yeah, me too, just from what we've seen. Yeah, there you go. And I would say this turret is probably better to be attacking the second base. Like, by the time it's on third base, the player probably has a lot of tools to get rid of that. I think trying to attack your opponent's second base is much more efficient.
In fact, I hope he kind of puts it on that dune there, so he might get a bit of a high ground advantage, or at least deny high ground.
Yeah, definitely. I think at that range, like, you can definitely get debt packed by the salvagers, but you... Oh, well, you also have to be careful not to get too close. The Conif carrier could just snipe it with his missiles.
No, more concerned... No, he is actually going to use that little piece of dune he's got next to that wreck. Because he's just trying to deny that third.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he should be trying to deny the third, but he will at any rate. If NoFun just tries to go like straight up into 3 base like a greedy mofo or something.
Which is entirely possible.
Indeed.
He is now attacking assault ships though.
Alright. That's probably better. Especially on this map where carriers can't just not very easily anyway, they can't just make timing power plays. You're usually a bit safer to tech assault chips, as opposed to, like, say, Boneyard. If you do this, you can often just get killed by a carrier with power. You don't have any, you know, anti-carrier weapons. This turret never got set down, though?
I think he didn't have the resources for it, so...
Here it comes now.
Or it is now going down. Will it any value? Yes, it will.
Nice. That should be a dead skimmer, then. Yep, down he goes. I remember there was...
straight into an AAV put.
Yeah, which is especially good because assault chips don't really do terribly well against AAVs in patch. This might be an interaction you're kind of unaware of. Maybe you know about this already.
I have heard discussions on it, and I have always thought it was kind of silly, but...
Yeah? Silly that they do or that they don't?
I think it's silly to give AAVs any advantage, because I think they're a stupid brick, as we have seen them used.
Indeed, but they've definitely been bricks in this game, that's for sure.
Yeah. The fact that they're viable just being used as bricks, and then if you actually have the skill to micro them, they're an annoying, near unkillable pain in the arse.
Roby just says, I think Tren is just a salty person, so...
I think I've seen enough of the damage that AAV spam has done in the past. And
Indeed.
now we're watching AAVs dive onto assault ship. And being rewarded for it, even with carrier support.
Well, even without smoke too. That's the important thing to note here.
Yeah.
Again, smoke can be used, and we haven't seen it much this series. Armor 2 coming out now for Shrike, and yeah, he's gonna get up onto the base.
So I don't think anything's gonna come of this. It's just gonna be trading 1 for 1. Although this last AAV may have a little bit more impact.
Definitely. I would like to see Shrike use, or NoFun use the det packs, but he also definitely needs to get the upgrades. Because, you know, when you got armor 0 on your assault ships, you're not going to have a good time against these AAVs here.
Yeah, NoFun has been quite slow to pick up the defense upgrades, and especially as he's fighting AAVs, that should be a go-to respawn.
Definitely, definitely. In fact, even just if you use them in general, I usually, when I go for like rushes or whatever with the assault ships, like the first thing I do is I get armor 1. Conniff carrier's in position now to try and snipe the turret.
I think
it will
he's
do.
just trying to cut off... Oh no, he is trying to clear that turret. I was on the impression he was just trying to cut off the AAV. Instead he discovers another AAV on its way. Which I believe he's now in a good position to actually shut down without suffering loss.
And now he's definitely stabilized. He's got enough assault ship here that he can hold off the AAV push pretty much just fine, unless they like kind of bunch up and conglomerate. And he's actually going to get up onto 3 base, I think, faster than his opponent. He's got his carrier there already. I don't think Shrike is actually
Shrike is just floating 1,000 CUs. I don't think he can do anything meaningful with it.
Oh no!
I am sure that him floating 1,000 CUs at this point in the game will not come back to bite him in the arm.
No,
and neither will these assault ships.
Although
he has gone and left an AAV alive and nothing to stop it as it rolls into his...
Nah, that can actually...
Be a moment to dead pack.
Exactly, yeah. That can be killed by just like 2 det packs, or a carrier missile, I guess.
That'll do.
Hey, it costs less, right? Discar was pointing out he thinks NoFun wasn't mining for like some time there. I didn't catch it myself, but it's very possible.
Yeah, I think he panicked, moved off, and then didn't put them back on.
Yeah, he says the second base wasn't mining for like 2 minutes. Ooh. Oof.
I get the feeling that's not going to damage his chances.
Me too, to be honest. He's got some good aggro coming up into the second base now, actually. You can see these assault ships here. Shrike sees him too with that probe, but... he's got rail fab now. He's gonna make some railguns to deal with this.
The rail fab combined with the AVs, he should be able to shut down this aggression really. Between, like, AVs plus Sunder is pretty disgusting combo.
Indeed. But, you know, what's the difference between should and will, right?
Yeah, proper micro, proper combined arms. It takes a lot of work.
We'll see what happens momentarily. Now, he should leave 1 AV on his main. He should leave 1 rail at his main, and then the other 2 back. But see what he does here. It looks like NoFun wants to back away, though. He's not getting terribly aggressive. Carrier's leaving this area though, so I feel a little nervous about just one rail being there, but I guess it's kind of open ground. He's probably okay.
I think I've reached the point where I want to start calling Shrike Noah, because he does everything in two.
I've noticed that.
2 LAVs, 2 AAVs. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
And we
that's
have
a good point.
in there.
It's coming, boys. I think using it on the AVs is not the right move. I would just damage the salvagers, and you can pick them off pretty easy.
No, I think AAV is a good pick there, because it just denied a lot of the vision, and so no more damage went on those assault ships. Although if he's going to go in... Down goes that rail, so...
Yeah, fair point.
getting
This
that
perhaps
forward
is,
unit.
you know, giving an opening for the assault ships to pop in. Shrike gonna perhaps overreact a little bit here, queuing up 3 missile batteries. I don't think he needs that just yet. He probably needs to worry more about getting his base set up. And I think you can cover this all with 2 missile batteries if you're careful with your railgun positioning.
I don't think Shrike is thinking about his expansion at all, which is odd, because he wanted to deny his opponent's third, which is only really valuable if you're going to take your own.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. He's definitely like spending a lot of time trying to deny expansions that he doesn't get himself, and it seems a little odd to me. I was going to fault NoFun for letting these 2 assault ships that he has not chase down the base burner, but he took it out with the sand skimmers, and he's got quite a healthy blob set up now. And I think he's ready to move on into the late game. Shrike here moving on to his 3rd base with the carrier, but again, no salvagers, so the carrier is not really an eco unit.
I like NoFun's play at the moment. He's just using these few assault ships to keep his opponent sort of penned in. He's got complete control, and then he's going to start sweeping in with the air units and punishing wherever there's an opening.
Uh-oh. No coverage on the main base against sand skimmers here. There's no damage upgrades. They do have rating, but
missile batteries, and they punish.
Nicely done. They do smite down about half that blob there, but I think this support cruiser is still going to go down. LAV's starting to stream out of the carrier, but it's too... Oh, don't back away! Get back in there, sir. Interceptor is just gonna get absolutely wrecked here. The second one should... Oh, get out of there, boys! Get out of there, boys!
He's just throwing them away.
Ah, he lost all 3 of them. Golly.
He's going into precision bombers, so he's looking to counter them by just hammering.
Indeed. But if this missile battery here can get 1 more veterancy, it'll become Lieutenant Dan. Look at that. 10% damage, I don't think that affects anything at all, but hey. At least he gets a funky name.
It helps with dealing with bombers, having that extra 10%.
Bombers, true. If our opponent is taking bombers, that actually maybe does make a difference.
More importantly is the reload for getting Lieutenant, so...
Yeah. And it looks like Shrike resurging a little bit on the map here, but he's only got 1 base set up right now. Actually, just now transitioning into 2. And he's got his support cruiser out, so he should be on 3 base momentarily, but this push is really hampered by, you know... I don't know, he doesn't have the eco behind this, so NoFun's going to be able to build up a response. He's not going to take too much damage from this, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not a substantial force. And the thing is that the assault ships are able to blunt the attack by the AAVs, and then the skimmers are able to just go in and clean up most of everything else.
You know, honestly, what would have been better than bombers here is just Con of Siege. I mean, I guess that's easy to say. Con of Siege is always good, but this kind of composition, you know, halfway AV, halfway rail, and you've got anti-air support, it just gets destroyed by Con of Siege, and I feel like that's kind of a easy pick to make. But NoFun opting not to go with it. Here's the bomber, taking damage immediately, but it is going to start picking off some rails. Oh, it's got to be careful. I think he's going to lose this one.
Oh my god, is he going to lose that? Please, no.
Oh, he loses the first bomber. Look, mate,
no, he's got to lose both, isn't he?
This one might get away. This one's gonna get away. Pretty clutch. Pretty much as close as it can get there.
That was really poor play, though. Like, there was no need to lose that first one. Drop 1 bomb.
Dan is taking damage. Come on, we need to keep Lieutenant Dan alive. Shrike, what are you doing?
Lieutenant Dan.
No.
Not at this point, I don't even think Shrike realized he had Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, you're probably right. Second base is or third base is getting really damaged here though, and I think this one might go down. So I questioned his play of not keeping the AVs with the army, but I think this is actually maybe good. Just keep pushing in though, push in, and smoke behind you.
Yep, that PC is going down.
There we go. Yeah.
Be saved now.
Bomber will come in, try and get some damage on these units that pushed in there. He will get those kills.
They will get cleaned up now.
Bomber stays alive, which is nice. And actually looks like he rebuilt the one that had been lost. So 2 bombers still in the pipe there.
NoFun has one hell of an RU bank at the moment, which probably why he went into bombs in the...
Yeah. He's getting the recharge upgrade as well for his air units. You know, I was saying, Shrike has an opportunity to, like, counter push here. It's not really going to work too much, though. NoFun will have the army to counter it, but not really what we saw. I mean, he did lose a PC, so I don't even dare check the units lost. It's actually
the big
surprisingly
mistake there
even.
was losing the bomber. That bomber should have just gone in, down damage, pulled back, and then been up to help clean up what was left.
Yeah.
Really poor play.
Definitely. Roby says, if this was vanilla, I would have gone strike fighters and just kill the Conf carrier. Not sure how well that would work, but...
In vanilla, the Conf carrier goes down so quick with so many things, it's disgusting.
It's true.
I don't think NoFun can be affording to just keep building production cruisers. He doesn't need 3 of them, and he is pretty low on CUs.
Yeah.
He
no, you're
either
kind
needs
of
to
right.
be investing more in his carrier, or he needs to be getting something a bit more RU intensive.
I want to point out too, he's actually got rail tech here. Don't lose the the bomber.
Yeah, this is not the right play.
In fact,
he's going to Khan Siege. If he's not going to micro those bombers, I think he's just dead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The carrier is actually taking a lot of damage here. There are rails out here from NoFun, but
push the assault ships in, clean up those rails. You can't be playing passively like this. You need to be willing to throw that army away to safety.
this carrier is at like 600 HP.
Carrier's
just
down.
a couple more shots.
Is it gonna? I think it's gonna be like 1 shot in it.
Yeah, he goes down. He goes down. That was pretty close though.
It didn't. It shouldn't have been though. All that hit down there was those assault ships move straight onto those rails, clean all of them up, and
definitely
easy to survive that.
Jump on top of the bridge, keep those guys down.
Yeah. But he's not using the assault ships to pressure properly, and again, I think he would have been better with rails. He didn't use air correctly, and the assault ships end up being a liability overall, I think.
I agree, and bombers in general, I think just did not really pay off this game. I don't even think it's totally because of, anti-air and like losing them. It's just they weren't really the right choice there. I think Conf Siege was just much better.
So Conf Siege would have allowed him to pressure the ground a lot more easily. I don't think Shrike would have been willing to push against the Khan Siege either. He would have been safer that way as well.
Yeah, yeah. Chat is saying that you should turn on my stream chat, but then other people in chat are saying you'd get too salty. But you know, we have you here for the salt. I mean, that would be fine by me. Have you got Game 4 loaded up, by the way?
Game 4 is coming up as being NoFun versus Gallop.
Yeah, Shrike likes to be a little joker. He plays a lot around with the names.
So that is still Shrike. Okay.
Indeed. I'm not sure where the joke is here. Hopefully he can enlighten me.
He thinks he's a horse.
Well, you know, like horses go as they gallop, and he always sends things in by 2, right? That's his AVs, yeah. You know, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh! It's Gal OP. I'm so tired of hearing this.
Oh man, that's a bit pathetic.
Just give up, man. Just like, go home and rethink
bad,
your life.
Enemy faction must be OP. Okay.
Oh jeez.
Okay, I am loaded in and at timestamp.
Alright, 1 second. All right. So 3, 2, 1. We're live. Game 4 here. Shrike definitely trailing in this series. He is still on match point, mind you. If NoFun wins one more game, he will just win the series. And that'll be the end of Shrike's tournament life here. So this is an important one for him. It's the Shallows. This is NoFun's pick. This is a map you can't really attack people early pretty easily. So I wonder what NoFun goes for here, but interestingly, this time he's actually not retiring his base runner, which I think is the first time we've seen him do that, and he's getting Sandskimmer Fab first. So, curiously, I think he wants to actually attack early on this map, rather than, you know, follow the meta, which is to go for eco.
I think he's more interested in getting the artifacts here. If he were going with something more aggressive, I'd expect a blast drone being built already. But
Sure,
yeah, he seems to be more interested in getting an artifact control this.
Blast drones, of course, in fact, a little bit cheaper in patch, but they do take about twice as long to build. I think it's 20 seconds in vanilla, yeah, and 150 CUs. But patch gonna be 45 seconds, so a little bit more than twice as long.
Oh yeah, long wait for those to come out, but that's why you would need to preemptive. So
Definitely. I mean, if he was planning an attack, he'd be building these already, I think. No tech so far.
I do think having a single blast drone in amongst a skimmer blob, though, is a really good thing to do.
Oh, for sure. Well, not least because you can't really see it, right? I mean, if you're in sensors, it's like a little X in these big massive triangles. It's really hard to like find it. So
Really disappointed NoFun not trying to intercept and destroy that probe there.
yeah, just like a little more move on his PC, I think he probably could have taken that out.
Oh yeah.
Was not so. And the base runner taking some damage here by these skims now. It's clear Shrike did not expect an early aggression to occur here. But this base runner could easily just put down a turret once it gets back behind this carrier. I think he's not gonna lose any units here, or not gonna lose the base runner.
I don't know, if NoFun convinces Shrike to put down a turret back there, I think
Probe.
that's a big win for him.
Probe's dead, right?
Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, it's
depends
down.
how the RNG is there.
That's actually one thing I'm really happy about in patch, is that the RNG is just so much less, especially when it comes to like probe kills, you know what I mean? You know, you send a probe over a PC, like, you know how much damage it's gonna take. You send him over a base runner, you know how much damage it's gonna take, and that's just like so much nicer than vanilla, where the PC is like fires 50 shots and like none of them hit, and then fires 50 shots and they all hit and it dies. You're like, alright.
I wonder if Shrike would be better retiring that base runner now, knowing that he doesn't have map control, and instead trying to invest in getting a little bit ahead in the economy might.
You know, that's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. Although it's definitely not Shrike's playstyle, though, I'm gonna say he probably should really be getting rail fab here. I don't think NoFun is going to attack him, but if he were, he's got rail fab himself.
Well, NoFun's already pushing in with those skimmers, so there is no way there isn't going to be an AoV count coming out.
Sure, I guess that's true.
And
But
there it is.
first extraction goes down. Although this is a bit later than I think it should have been, correct? I think he could have had that faster. We're already at like the 4-minute mark. But, you know, Shrike does have some serious weakness against railguns here, but he's getting rail fab now, to his credit. Perhaps we're gonna see a move from the classic Shrike AAV push. Although his AAV is like horribly trapped behind his carrier. Can you see this? He's just finally getting unlocked there.
Now that's interesting. Shrike has preemptively put down a AA turret.
Huh, yeah.
So, I mean, I can kind of understand because they're only seen skimmers, but I'd be more worried if I'd seen assault ships.
Yes, definitely. And I think, you know, rather than putting down the turret right now, you can send out the probe and just try and scout it.
Send out the probe, have a look at the carrier, and get
Which
that
in fact he's gonna do now. Flying it right over this BR is not ideal. Okay, he blocks it. He still took some damage, like 60, but it's better.
Gets over there. That's it, he's already seen that it's actually rail tech, so...
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to
AA
risk...
turret is suddenly like, that wasn't such good.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does not have to risk moving out to the carrier now. He might do it anyway, but he's seen what he needed to see. Second extract should come out for NoFun, though. This is going to be uncontested.
NoFun does also have a blast run up. Be interesting to see how effective that is.
Heavy Vehicles 1 going to finish, but I think he really needs to prioritize Mag Accelerator because a rail fight is imminent, I would say. And if you don't have Mag Accelerator when the rail fight comes out, Probe going to die here, I think, by the way. Yeah, he's dead. If you don't have Mag Accelerator when the rail fight happens, you're going to be in some bad places, you know.
Oh yeah. That
Artifact
said,
picked up, though.
sheer numbers might work in Shrike's favor, but
yeah, it could be. I mean, definitely, like if the rails take a fight right now, he'll probably win. But
well, I'm more interested in seeing if. See, looking at this build, what Shrike actually wants is LAV. LAV, like mass LAVs will beat the skimmers, and it'll completely clobber the heavy rails. It will force assault rails, which can be overwhelmed with LAV, but are also vulnerable to his rails. So
definitely, I think so too. And the AV's going to tide him over for a moment. Well, he should be expanding onto 3 base anyway, but
and it's not like he's got the resources for 6 LAVs already.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's getting more AVs. Okay. Okay, sure.
He's actually got a spot of high ground here against that heavy rail. That's nice. Mag Accelerator is finished as well. He wants to take rail fights now. This is good.
Much preferred the AAVs be at the front though to actually take the brunt of attack.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you can trick the rails into shooting at the AVs first. I mean, that's big damage. We do have some blast drones on the field, mind you, but Probe gonna die again.
I don't think Shrike has any idea that those blast drones exist at the moment.
No, none at all. Not at all. Now, they do get suppressed by AAVs, and so it could be difficult for, blast drones to, you know, get in onto these railguns, but if they can do it, the damage is going to be huge. But that being said, NoFun is getting backed into a corner right now, and he's actually in danger of losing a PC here.
Yeah, NoFun playing really greedy. He's trying to rush the siege cruisers, and it's left him open to this kind of a...
Oh, that was close. Oh, I missed the blast drone hit, dang it.
Does go down.
Blast drone hits true, though.
Did work.
Indeed. And now Shrike, it's on him to make a support cruiser, and he's done it! Yes! Yes, he's done it!
He has full eco and saturation. Yay.
Finally. Our quest is complete. And this is gonna put him finally ahead. I was talking before about how, you know... Oh, well, now he's gonna try to extract off of his opponent's extraction zone. But anyway, I was talking before about how if you do damage to your opponent and take them down to 2 base, but you're on 2 base yourself, it doesn't matter. Now you're even. You're not ahead. But this is, you know, exactly what I was talking about. This is what you ought to be doing. And he's using AAV smoke. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this.
We'll try hard, and he's gonna get a heavy rail kill just because it's derp.
Yeah, awkward positioning, that's going to cost him. You can't be doing that. And I think this series is going to go to an ace match. This looks... Oh my gosh, NoFun is moving to Shrike's extraction zone with no artifact. And Shrike is moving to NoFun's extraction zone with an artifact. And I just don't know what I'm looking at anymore. Oh boy.
You're looking at NoFun playing super greed and not paying attention to the fact that he's under attack. Again, someone who's all... Hey, my attack's actually working. I'll just keep doing that.
But clearly not paying attention to the base. Okay, he finally sees it. He's gonna send it down to the extraction zone.
Why is he rushing into missile? Perfectly timed, because
yeah, I mean that's a good question, but Shrike is.
Gun.
Yeah, exactly. Shrike's actually going for the tech. Maybe he just has like telepathic abilities.
Possibly. But then I'm also wondering why he's got the assault ship tech and can get interceptors, and why he doesn't get the interceptors. Again, like, this is the thing, NoFun when he's on the back foot seems to kind of forget about scouting.
Yeah. When he's, you know, when he's got the upper hand in a series, he really actually looks pretty good, I think. Could obviously play better, but he's doing well. When he gets in the back foot, I think he gets a bit floundered, you know? He's not sure what he's doing.
said, Skimmer's punishing those rails, but fresh AAB's coming in to deny it any further.
Doing a good job.
Doing
Doing a good job grinding his opponent down a little bit with these Conf missiles, but I think Conf Siege is really what's going to do that for him. He just put it on the queue, I think. That's what I was looking for.
There is that, but look at what he's doing with the heavy rail. He's moving all the way forward there. He just needs to put them up on the cliffs behind his, and they'll do all the work with rain.
Yeah.
Again, it's
Base runner gonna get smitten here. Oh. Base runner smoke gonna buy this a little bit of time, and the sand skimmers are coming in here. Now, maybe he can actually get this extract.
But does that extraction change anything? He still doesn't win the match. He's going to be sacrificing his skimmers in the meantime.
He's doing damage to rails, though. And you can see these skimmers are going to come over onto the other side, and they're going to kill these rails. There's just, like, no defense for this.
Yeah,
he's got strike fighters.
Left to dry.
Yeah, he's got strike fighters, but that's it. Turret does get set up. This is, you know, an attempt at protecting these railguns, but...
And it's gonna work.
Actually, yeah, NoFun not gonna pressure. He could actually push in. He could just push through this turret, but... Oh, no, not the base, but that's not your concern here, Shrike. My boy. But NoFun gonna choose to back away, and if you play halfway like that, he's taking a lot of damage, but he did not even kill the turret, so this is rough.
Is he gonna immediately lose that siege cruiser? I think he is.
I think he is, yeah. Yeah, just one more volley, he's down.
The greed play is not only ineffective earlier, it's just not worth it.
And it's getting punished really heavy. We might lose the strike fighter here. Yeah, one strike fighter gonna go down. That's rough, but it happens to us all. But I mean, hey.
I would have much preferred the interceptors. If he teched into interceptors, built those, he would have been able to fight the air and also push off this aggression and kill those.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice he's on 3 artifacts, you know, that's good pressure, but the chances of him extracting again, I think, are getting lower and lower with each trade, especially as the Space Runner just gets killed by turret. No, it's gonna get away. But things are looking rough.
What I would like to see is NoFun actually move into a more defensive setup so he can just re-establish himself, but he keeps rushing out and losing his army. And I think he's gonna throw his carrier away.
Yeah, he very well might. This is danger. I mean,
push out the carrier, and he's just gonna lose.
In patch, you know, you can't push out against even just a couple of rails. Although with the missiles, you know, he can do damage. But kind of in the same vein of NoFun, probably gonna want to be a bit defensive here. I think Shrike would do a good job of getting up onto his 3rd base now, or his 4th base.
Pull that carrier back. It has no business being. Again, these are just
Uh-oh. The army's dead.
Play.
I don't know what what NoFun can do here. I think he's dead from here.
Why is he not pulling back?
You know, missile ships also really need to be there. I mean, they're not really contributing anything.
He's not even moving forward with his skimmers. Yeah, he's just dead. Yeah. He needed to just pull back, consolidate, put heavy rails up on the hills there to prevent the and just get his eco in order. And he's too busy trying to, I don't know, push out. And yeah,
and he only got in that scenario because he felt like he had to push out. I don't really understand it. He didn't have field control. He had a kind of siege coming out. True, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like I got ahead in the artifact. I need to stay ahead in the artifact, otherwise I'll lose. And then he's just not focusing anymore. He's completely lost his comparison. It's a shame.
Yeah.
But the idea that it was his map pick and then he's not taking advantage of the way the map is designed is...
Yes, definitely. Because his build was so in between, right? Like, what was he going for? Like, did he want...
It's not just that. He's got heavy rails and he's pushing them out into the low ground and ignoring all the high ground he has to use.
Yeah.
And it cost him so many units. You know, his build being, I'm going to just rush siege cruisers. He's got no scouting. He's not ready to repel any kind of attack. And so he just gets punished for it over and over and over and over. And it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, totally. Alrighty then. Let us enter game 5 now. This one is going to be... Shrike's map pick, correct? Hold up, I can check this out, actually.
That'd
Yeah,
be the
Shrike's map
tie-down
pick.
passage, NoFun versus Fun.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. That's just BM, dude. Incredible.
I mean, I'm not
Incredible.
saying I have a preferred player role, but I do. Definitely do.
Yeah, who do you think? All right, who do you think? We're entering the ace match here. Who's going to win this? Who's going to move on to the semifinals?
Personally, I feel like NoFun has played better than Shrike consistently. Shrike has continuously leaned on one very basic principle of I'll just throw AAVs in your face and make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'm disappointed in NoFun not properly controlling that, like seeing it so many times and still kind of falling prey to it.
But
there's
he's
still...
you know, he's got the opportunity for adaptation, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's also the fact that he managed to keep it together in those earlier games, and then in mid-game kind of just came out on top and won those victories. And then he's not been able to do that again in later matches. And he could have done it. Like, he had the opportunity to get those matches back in order, but just couldn't quite rally himself.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really not sure who I want to win either, because like both of these players are really fun. I want to see him in Group A for the next tournament, but you know, this is basically the decider of which one of these two is going to enter Group A. I think the other 3 matches, like, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but they're fairly decided already. So, well, let's hop into it, find out what happens. Are you ready to go?
I am in. I'm ready to go.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, go. So, tight end passage up in the north, it is going to be NoFun as the Conf, and in the south, Shrike, or Fun, as you could say, as the Coalition.
Salty boy, I think, is what he should be going for.
Salty boy, yes. Definitely. Look, it's the Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely over Torn Crater. Just a fun note, if you didn't know.
I think what's weird about that is the fact that it's so far south.
Yeah. Like, what kind of wonky magnetic fields are going on over here? People just think Aurora Borealis looks cool, and they just try to stick it everywhere they can, you know? Gets old.
I'm an art student, and I think it looks cool.
Oh. Roby just asked the most curious question, okay? Is Argon Bolt and Megavolt the same person?
I don't think so. I would say that Megavolt's comes across too much of a nerd. Like, Argon didn't really have time to think about anything, so...
Oh, jeez. Roby's just pointing out similarities in their actions, but I don't know. By the way, AV fabrication on the queue for Fun, on the queue for Shrike. So.
I wonder what Shrike's going to do this game.
Yeah, no surprise there. There doesn't really seem to be really any variance in the...
Right, no.
Hey, Kissland! Hey, spoilers, man. I thought Frosty was gonna win that.
NoFun is going for quick rail guns, so I suspect he is expecting the AAVs this time.
Yeah, me too.
And intends to be prepared.
And I like this, right? I mean, this is a good build. We see a turret getting set down. We saw what EMP can do to that turret, you know, in the first game that they played.
I mean, the fact that NoFun is not focusing it and is
you gotta just get away from that. You wanna just wait until rails are out, get the EMP the turret, just take it out, you know what I mean?
Well, no, really, he wanted to change his target priority. He could have killed that turret.
I think so too.
He does not want to keep diving in here, though. There is not much he's going to actually be able to do.
Yeah, certainly not. Just wants to wait for rail fab, you know, just be patient. He's not really stacking, which is good. And so I think he can get EMP rounds and build the heavy rail at the same time, actually, if he just does a little quick drop here. He's at like 96 RUs. And that's what I think he wants to get. Obviously, without EMP rounds, you know, you're not really going to push on this turret, I don't think. So I'd love to see that get tech now. Wait, he's building an assault rail, what the heck?
Yep. That's what I expect. He wants the assault rails so he can shut down the AAVs quickly, and he's got the mobility to pull back to his base if he needs to.
In fact, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's got ref mode on the way now. I think he should push this. I think he should push the advantage.
Come on, there's no need to lose a skimmer there.
In fact, he should just be killing that AV with the assault rail.
Yep.
Should be punishing,
Do
right?
not push him with those skimmers. If he loses another skimmer, I will basically announce he should just...
I will eat my shorts.
Not necessary. I don't own shorts, so I'm fine.
Again, AV smoke. Oh, actually it was used there. I see. He tried
used.
anyway.
It failed.
Just failed. But I mean, why are you pushing, you know? Like, you could have backed away. That thing probably should still be alive right now.
Oh look, 2x2. 2 AAVs on the right, 2 LAVs.
2 LAVs on the left. Why does he not have 2 probes? That's the real question.
Because he's only got 1 base runner. Like,
Yeah, but why does he have only 1
failed.
base runner? I mean, he should obviously have 2 of them, right?
Well, look at his float. I don't see any excuse for it.
NoFun here is not...
Oh, I thought Shrike was going to go for LAV spam, and he decided not to.
Darn.
It's a shame.
Carry production is on the way, though. A-Game is asking why he has more than 2 salvagers as well. You know, honestly, I don't know. Doesn't seem to really fit the bill, like everything that I've come to expect from
He has 2 salvagers
Shrike.
on each resource node. I think that counts.
Oh, okay, true,
Are
true.
you kidding me? He's missed the 2 AAVs going off.
Oh no. Oh no, are we gonna see a Not this
Yeah,
again!
we're gonna see a repeat of this.
Not this again! Oh
Welcome to
no.
Deja vu, the series.
Oh dear. This turret's starting to chew up these assault rails, which managed to get 1 shot into it.
Yeah, you need to pull those back, otherwise the LAV's gonna come and clean up that assault rail pretty quick.
Yes, indeed. Although he should win this fight if it's taken, though. Leave the sand skimmers there, yeah. Leave the sand skimmers there.
I'm more concerned by the fact that, yeah, we know what's going to happen in the off.
I mean, this could really be game breaking. This could really finish it off.
This is going to do a lot of damage.
I mean, what we've seen from Shrike, he's not really the most consistent player. He can take leads and still lose the game.
He's incredibly consistent. He's just not particularly good.
Consistent in what way, right? I guess that's a good point.
He's consistently doing the same thing.
But, you know, he is going to get a lead here. And so...
Yeah, he's going to big lead here, because I think with the high ground bonus, he's going to be able to clean up all of these salvages. Nothing is nearby to actually deal with this either. So he's got a few freshly produced assault rails. And again, why does he do this? He's moving back in while still under AAV flag. He's letting those AAVs have high ground, and they're going to get that assault.
Yeah. And even still, AV smoke could have been used for a bit more effect, but it almost just doesn't even matter. We killed every salvager except for 1.
This AAV is actually microing around the assault rail because he's playing like
Pog, that's unreal. He nearly killed
it. Carrier.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Now, the rest of the army for NoFun pulled back. I don't really know why. He needs to keep that pressure up. He needs to delay third base as long as he can at this point.
Come back and deal with that, otherwise he was in pretty bad.
Well, I just...
assault rail almost went down as well, so...
Sure, but I kind of disagree on the grounds that, you know, they weren't actually used in that defense. I don't think he needed them.
I think he needed the 6 salvages that he lost.
Yes, that is definitely true. That is definitely
now
true.
He's going to get hit on the other flank. It's right, left, right, left. Like, this is quite painful to watch at this point.
And this is all happening while, you know, NoFun's core unit is assault rails, which theoretically should counter all of these.
Which are able to cope with this the best.
It's just bad vision, it's just bad scouting.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, these are,
scouting.
you know, Conf problems, but like, I don't know. Oof. Det packs are pretty good here, but there's just no support.
There's nothing to finish up, so it's a bit difficult. But no, the assault rail is arriving.
Finally here, but we've lost so many salvagers already.
Lost his entire economy now. Like,
if you check the units lost tab, right?
Those salvages back on there now. Like, the LAVs are passing.
Yeah.
Stop running away.
Yeah, just get back.
This is really weird. It's like they'll still be there and he'll move salvages back. They've passed and he's still moving away, and it's really bizarre to me.
There's just like this weird cognitive dissonance.
I'm trying to contact you through through time and tell you to pull back, consolidate your economy, and stop running forward like a moron.
Get a couple heavy rails, build up your
There we
economy
go.
back, you know.
Stabilize. Because at this point, your opponent might have got railguns. He's going to punish your assault railgun pick.
But you know what else? You know what else? He's not on 3 base yet, right? And this is actually, amazingly, still winnable for NoFun. He just needs to be really careful here.
But he needs to stabilize, which he's about to fail at doing because
here he's gonna kill a rail, maybe. No, he doesn't get the kill on it.
He pulls back, and again he's not really got the armor on these assault rails to contend with the AAVs yet. He can't push into them.
Missile ship here does snipe out the probe, which is kind of nice, but it is gonna feel a little bit like heavy, heavyweight. What is that the term? I don't even know what I'm saying. It's not really what he wants to have right now. There's obviously no air tech from his opponent, but feeling kind of forced into it. Okay, good missile ship barrage though. But if these assault rails fall, I'm really worried for what comes next for NoFun.
There's only one left now. He's got no military.
Yeah.
So again, he needs to pull back off his
He's building heavy rails now. This is good. But because of the hilltop here,
straight forward the heavy rail gun.
Yeah.
If that heavy rail gun goes down, I'm pretty sure that will just be game. Won't be able to recover.
And it needs to be moving back, or these rails are going to get a shot on it. Which, for some reason, they're not really moving forward. But I mean, if he gets this hill. You know, how is NoFun getting back onto his 3rd base? This is going to be so hard. You know what I mean?
He can, but he's got to take advantage of his rails, and he just doesn't seem to know what he's doing with heavy rails.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's 2 more AAVs.
Oh, it's going to go down now. It just walked up right up to the smoke.
Yeah.
These legendary AAV pushes, man, I don't understand.
He's just not taking advantage of his terrain at all. He's playing on low ground. He's not covering his flank, which is about to get hit by 2 AAVs again. Shocking.
And you know, these aren't like subtle nuances, right? These are like serious mistakes.
The exact same game plan that has happened in the previous 4 matches. Well, except for the 4th, because there was no you know, it's just left, right, left, right, left, right.
People are spamming super dead emotes in chat now. Dead packs are a miss. He's gonna have to pull off the main base. Gonna take salvager losses anyway, though. And now look at his position just getting so compacted.
Yeah, because... And why is that? That's because he's not using the terrain. If he were up consolidating the forces on this hill here, he wouldn't have been vulnerable to his AAV backstab. He would be in a position to ward off those railguns and AAVs. But no, he's playing on an even playing field. He's going and pushing against him. No use of terrain.
Shrike, honestly, I think should dive in and just kill this PC with these AAVs now.
Yes, he definitely should. Look at these.
It's getting carrier blocked.
Nothing. It is really difficult to watch.
Against these 2 rails that look at them. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about 1% HP units. They're literally...
And then he's not got the rails to deal with the AAVs. No.
18 HP on this rail. Can you believe this? You know?
I can, because NoFun is not using the terrain. He's not playing...
Oh, there we go.
And he's just throwing everything away.
They both just got sniped by a missile, so they're finally gone, but... Now this AV is a commander. Look at this. I think he's got to now just get out of here, because this unit is too valuable. Look at him. Rank 4. No, the skimmer! The skimmer's gonna kill him! Oh. Commander Kevin taken by a skimmer.
Far too much credit to Shrike and how he micros. I don't even think he knew he had any veterancy on that unit, okay?
You know, you're probably right. Check out the units lost tab, tells the whole story.
So yeah. Shrike is now in a position where all he's got to do is just kind of...
Oh yeah, look at that.
Trail across, yeah.
In fact, that will be GG. NoFun, he's not having any more of this and he surrenders.
But again, NoFun brought it on himself. He correctly dealt with this in game 1 and 2. And then it's like he just forgot what he was playing against. And
indeed.
Nothing had changed. Like, what his opponent was doing did not change through that entire series. It's just kind of disappointing, like, what the hell? I will say, the big change there for Shrike is that he didn't do the stupid moves such as going into assault cruisers. Instead, he consolidated on that mid-tier army, AAVs, railguns, and just ground pounded his way to victory. And it paid off, but I don't know. NoFun felt like he played so much better in game 1 and 2, and then just forgot what he was doing.
Yeah. And actually, it's an interesting note to make. After Game 2 was played, Shrike, stepped back, looked at the replays, and really considered what his mistakes were. So I think it really shows in this series. He's still...
How much time was there between games? Was this played as a series of 5, or
yes,
was there,
I think he took about 10 minutes to just look at replays, but... So not that much time, but it clearly worked. He's slow to get onto his third base. This is the trend that I kept seeing, is that, like, he would get into a position where either he was the defender or the attacker, it didn't really matter, but his third base would just be empty for so long. Once he would get up onto it, he basically won from there. Like, I think every time.
I could understand Shrike not getting his third up if he seemed to be really caught up in my... But he's playing basically purely in Centers Manager. There's no reason he's not getting his third up. Observing AAVs just trundling across the map. Well, I say AAVs, squares.
Bricks. I mean, they're even shaped like bricks,
Yeah.
Corvettes.
I don't like the fact that AAVs versus assault ships is actually favorable to AAVs because, again, I feel AAVs have too much. But again, if that's where, a game currently feels like the balance needs to be, fair enough. I don't like it, though. I don't like AAVs as they currently stand as this kind of incredibly
it's worth pointing out
utility brick.
Utility brick. It's worth pointing out that a lot of cases that the AVs win, it's because the player can micro them well, and it turns out to be a pretty fun interaction. I think they're in a good place, but it does show in kind of like mid-tier games like this that they can definitely be pretty bricky.
Have there been any range changes to assault rails, assault ships, or AAVs at all?
Assault ships, yes. I don't know about the others, but assault ships definitely.
Right. It's just in my experience with some games, it felt like the ARs didn't have that kind of range advantage they used to. Made it much more difficult to get that kind of sweet spot where they're able to kind of poke their enemy without being at risks.
Once you get enough armor on them, of course the AVs can't really fight them. They do like 1 damage per shot.
You can't get enough armor anymore. It's gone from being 6 total bonus armor to just 3. That's a substantial nerf to the and a substantial buff to the AAV.
Yeah, the AAV still doesn't really win the fight though once the armor gets up, and the assault rail doesn't really care as much. So.
But this is the thing. Everyone keeps coming back to like AAVs don't always win the fight. They don't have to win the fight. They just have to live long enough to get something they can win against, like salvage. And they have smoke.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Consistently you saw, even when Shrike couldn't win a fight, he can still kill economy. And so, the AAVs just always had value.
Definitely. Oh, ich will immer essen.
Oh, well, I suppose
on that note, on that note, I better be off.
Stupid and it works. Is it stupid?
Yeah, but on that note, I better be off. This was a great series, though. Thanks for joining me, Tren. Yeah, no problem. These will probably be up on YouTube in like 4 hours or so when I finally get around to editing them. But it is indeed going to be Shrike who enters on to the semifinal and that secures him a spot in Group A of the bracket. So I'll catch you guys later. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.